When we talk about great goalkeepers, you don't have to go far in the US to realize there are some truly talented ones in MLS. Well, I have the absolute pleasure of talking to one today, one of the best and most important stoppers in the league, Philadelphia Union and Jamaica's number one, Andre Blake, the three-time All-Star and two-time Goalkeeper of the Year, joins me to chat about Philly's preparations for the upcoming season, CONCACAF qualifiers, and much more. Qué Golazo begins right now. Hey everybody, welcome to Qué Golazo, CBS Sports. Thank you so much for being part of the family. Let's get straight into it. Andre Blake, I've wanted to talk to you for a while now. Great to have you on the show. How are you, my friend? How's life?
I'm doing good, and life is good. Thank you for having me.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. As I mentioned, you are a staple of MLS, not just Philadelphia Union, of course. Thank you for being here. How's preseason going, buddy?
It's going good. It's the grind. It's going to be tough, but, it's important to get you ready for the season. So just embracing it and putting in that work.
Absolutely. You've been traveling a lot back and forth. Obviously, we'll get into it in a second regarding Jamaica and the Union's preparations for the season. But physically, mentally, you're feeling okay?
Not where I want to be yet, but that's why you have preseason, putting that work in. And most important thing is to be ready for the opener, which is in a few weeks. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Listen, I know that my producer, Des Norris, Andre Blake, is going to get mad at me, but I'm a lifelong Aston Villa fan, and I'm loving some Leon Bailey. So I wanted to just show you some love about the Jamaican representation we have over here.
That's good. That's good.
Let's get into it, Andre Blake. Let's talk about Philadelphia Union. Let's talk about last year, because honestly, the pandemic has been challenging for everybody, right? But particularly for the Union, because after an incredible run in the regular season, Philly looked so ready to go deep in the playoffs, but the universe had other plans as COVID really depleted the roster right before facing the eventual winners, NYCFC. How much of a blow was that for the team, Andre Blake, do you think?
That was a big blow. We all honestly thought that was it. This was our year. And after beating Nashville, and having New York to come to our home, we thought for sure this was the moment. We're going to beat them, and then we're going to go on to win the MLS Cup. But again, didn't go as planned, and such is life. It was devastating, but, something that we couldn't control.
Something that you couldn't control, but I'm imagining, Andre Blake, just judging by the kind of player that you are on the pitch, that you're using it as a sense of motivation for this new season?
Yeah, definitely. Don't get bitter, get better. It's an unfortunate situation, and there's not much you could have done. So, it was very hard to get to that moment, but, we are a good team. And we're hungry, and we're going to do everything we can to try to get back to this moment and to go one step further.
You've kept most of your squad intact for this new season. Do you think that's an advantage, just getting, the fact that the squad knows each other so much better than perhaps other teams that are bringing in new players?
It's very important to have a core group of guys that know each other, that knows the league, because it takes time to build a team. And we have the majority of the guys coming back. I think we have all the starters coming back except for Casper. So I think we're in a very good spot. And, the challenge for us now is to stay hungry, to keep fighting, and to understand that we still haven't won anything yet, and to use last year as a motivation and to do everything we can to push to go all the way this time around.
How are the new guys doing? Mikael Ura, the Danish League's reigning Golden Boot winner, Julian Carranza. How are they doing in the squad?
Yeah, Julian has been with us, has already integrated himself. We make him feel welcome, and we think he's going to be very good for us. And so, yeah, we're definitely looking forward to it. So, yeah.
Listen, Andre, I've covered MLS for a while now. Another side note, I'm Peruvian, so there are two keepers in this league that I really admire. Yourself, my friend, and Pedro Galese. Do you see other goalkeepers as major competition, somebody that you challenge yourself against, or do you just keep Andre Blake, whatever happens, happens?
I challenge myself against the guy in the mirror. I don't compare and I don't compete. I just want to be the best me and to challenge myself to be, better than I was the day before.
How is the relationship between you and a person I really admire, Jim Curtin? You've known each other, of course, for a while. You've been at the club since 2014, just like him. How's that relationship?
It's been great. Jim is a great coach. He's also a great player. I mean, he's also a great person.
He can still do it.
He is a great player, but I mean, he's a great person, and he takes care of his players, which is very important, and whenever you have a coach that really takes care of his players, he's going to have all his players respect, and, we're going to go out there and we're going to fight for him.
Absolutely. So, he doesn't treat you any differently than everybody else, does he? Just because he knows you longer?
No, I mean, it's right across the board. I think I've earned his trust, so that's going to be there, but there's no different treatment for me than anyone else. It's just the same treatment right across the board, and that's important if you're going to ever have a good team.
Andre, as I mentioned, I cover the league quite a bit. I'm a big fan. I love the development and the growth of MLS. Obviously, looking at your career, one of the most important players, is, I think, throughout the league, not just Philly Union. Have you never been tempted by leaving MLS, going to Europe or anything like that?
I've always wanted to play in Europe, to be honest. It just didn't work out, and it is what it is. And this is where I'm at right now. And you just have to bloom where you're planted, and to just keep doing your thing and see what happens.
I mean, absolutely. We're talking about a club that does so well, keeps continuing to grow. The academy itself, I mean, so many amazing youngsters, Paxton Aronson, Quinn Sullivan, Jack McGlynn. What has it been like watching these young players come from the academy all the way up?
These are great players. They're young, but they're fearless, and at the rate that they're developing, if they keep going, they're going to be really amazing players. They're very technical. Their soccer IQ is very good. And, I think it's important for them to keep pushing. One of the most important things is that they're very brave, and to start at the age that they did, it's very good for them, and they just have to keep going because the sky's the limit.
Absolutely. Supporters Shield winners, Philly Union in 2020, second in the Eastern Conference last season. All right, let me ask you an obvious question, Andre Blake. Can Philly go a step further and finally win that MLS Cup this season?
That's the aim. We're going all the way for it. We're going to give it our best shot, and hopefully this can be our year.
Absolutely. All right, let me just pivot a little bit here. We're with Andre Blake, Philadelphia Union, Jamaica. I wanted to talk about the national team. I empathize with you, my friend. I waited 36 years to see Peru at the World Cup. I was really rooting for Jamaica. Such a talented core. It's never easy, especially because of COVID as well. Are there any takeaways from the campaign in CONCACAF, do you think?
Yeah, there's a lot. One of the most obvious one is we have a very good team on paper, but you don't win games on paper. And I think we were a little bit late with our preparation and getting the group together, and we struggle. We're playing against the US, Panama, Costa Rica. Those guys have been playing for 5-6 years together. We got a main group of our guys maybe a week before the qualifiers, and it just doesn't work like that.
Yeah, but obviously as well, no fans allowed for home games, injuries, travel restrictions due to COVID. Was there a sense with the players saying, the what if this was a regular year, a regular season where there was no COVID, do you think it would have been different?
It would have still been hard, but I think having the fans would have gave us a push. Yeah. And we already didn't have a lot of things going our way. So having the fans would have been big time. We saw that we had 5,000 fans against the US, and it did make a big difference. We had a goal taken back in that game, and we had another chance that we could have won that game. Yeah. But, the fans are always important, being that 12th man, and making you feel like you're at home, giving you that push, and giving you that extra confidence. So we definitely did miss the fans, and I can say that, having the fans would have made a big difference.
What has the addition of Michail Antonio meant for the team? What does that profile kind of player mean for the squad? What's it been like having him in the squad?
He's a great player. You know, as you can tell, you know, he had like 3 goals in maybe 4 or 5 games. So he's a big time player. There's no doubt about that. But, you know, again, I just think that, you know, we got together a little bit too late. So we're always playing catch up. You know, we tried our best, you know, but unfortunately, our best wasn't good enough.
I did read, though, that you are already focused on the next campaign. It begins right now. That's how focused you are with the next one around.
Yeah, of course. You know, if you want to have a chance, you have to start building now. You know, the next World Cup is in 4 years. So what better time it is than to start your preparation now? You know, with the next 3 games that are coming up, we need to start to change some things, get guys in, let them understand that, you know, this is what we're looking to do. This is the guys that we're looking to build with. And the preparation starts now. We're not just going to go down and go out there and lay down and give away points to teams, but we're going to start our building process now for the next World Cup.
Are you using the Winter Olympics for inspiration? I'm loving the Jamaican representation from the bobsleigh side. Are you catching any of that?
Unfortunately, I'm not watching. I know they're there, and I wish them all the best.
They don't start until this weekend, I believe, but it is quite a thing to see Jamaica being represented at the Winter Olympics. That's a great thing to see. Let's wrap up with Philadelphia Union as we look ahead to 2022. Does it matter to you that the season begins a little earlier, just because obviously the World Cup is later on? Does it matter to you? Or you guys, how are you ready in terms of preparations for the beginning of the season?
It's a shorter off season for us. You know, it's a quick turnaround, especially the fact that we went deep into the playoffs. But, you know, it is what it is. Everybody's starting at the same time, and we're not going to use anything as an excuse or a distraction. We know what it is. We know what we need to do, and we're going to get ready and go out there and do what we have to do.
I love it. Andre Blake, Philadelphia Union, Jamaica's #1. Make sure to watch him as we begin MLS new season in 2022. Andre Blake, thank you so much, my friend, and good luck with the rest of your year. My best to you and your family.
All right. Thank you.